Hey everyone, good morning. It is Saturday, July 5th. We just had a wonderful uh, holiday. I mean, the weather was pretty poor here in St. Petersburg, but over the view behind me, we can see all the fireworks, and we had a lightning storm. So, on one side, there was a fireworks display on the beach of Treasure Island, and I guess in the opposite direction, Mother Nature was trying to compete, as my son says. So I wasn't expecting to do a video today. It was a weird way to wake up. So I got a text message this morning around 7 a.m. Happened to be up from the buyer from one of my listings in Northern Pinellas that said, "Hey Christian, I'm sorry. I think I have to back out of this deal. I'm not able to come down to Florida to do a walkthrough, and I'm not comfortable putting a deposit, losing a deposit on a property." And I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" And then I listen to a voicemail before I respond because it's 7 a.m. I'm not calling anyone back 7 a.m. on a Saturday. One of the tenants in my St. Pete duplex is being evicted, and they haven't really responded to the property manager. And that property is under contract. We have an inspector coming in on Monday, and most people who find themselves in eviction, don't have any loyalty to the property, so they could do some damage on the way out. So I was like, damn, what am I gonna do? This is not the way I wanted to wake up after July 4th. But good news is, so I contacted my buyer, the buyer for the property, and I happened to be on both sides of the transaction. So I was like, oh, this is bad. I've been trying to sell this property for like 3 or 4 months, 4 or 5 months actually. What's the issue? Well, he was trying to come down to Florida this weekend to do a walkthrough because of the storms coming through the Gulf all the way up to the Northeast. His flight was canceled, and he just thought, you know what? I don't want to lose the deposit. Let me just redo this and find another property potentially. And I asked him, what is the issue? Turns out, he just doesn't want to lose that many thousands before he can walk through and verify that the property is what it is because he wants the property. So I said, well, could you just do a nominal deposit? I can talk to the seller because we're really motivated. We want to get this deal done. She's been trying to sell this property for 6 months, 4 months with me, 2 months with another agent. He said, well, yeah, I just don't want to lose the money. I said, let's just do a $500 deposit. If you're planning to buy the property, the EMD means nothing. It just means that you have skin in the game. What else do you need? Like, how much time do you need to come down to the property? Because my client will not be in the country by the time we're closing. Like we were said, she's planning to go to Europe and etc. So he said, well, could you give me till like Tuesday? I said, sure. Would Wednesday be better for you? He said, yes, Wednesday. I can definitely be down there by Wednesday and do everything. I said, great. Let's change the deposit from, I think it was 2,500 to 500. So that way, if it doesn't work out, you just lost $500. Is that fair? He said, that's fair. I mean, it's less than the cost of his flight round trip from Maryland. So I said, cool. So I saved that deal. That was by like 9 a.m. on a Saturday. That's not how I want to start my morning. So I sent the DocuSign, and he just signed his end of it. So now I feel comfortable making a video about it because I don't want to jinx myself. Next, I contacted the tenant that's being evicted. I said, hey, what happened? He said, yeah, things just, got behind, blah, 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 blah. I said, what time, when did you see the information? Like, I've known that he's being evicted for about a week and a half or so. He just received the notice, and he just wasn't contacting me back and forth. So I just sent him a text like, hey, can we talk about this eviction? I just found out. He said, yeah, it is what it is. I said, well, when is your last day? He told me it would be the 1st of August, which is the first Friday in August. I said, all right, that's fine. Do you mind if I write a letter on behalf of the lender and the buyer saying that you're voluntarily leaving at this time? He is getting evicted, but the eviction deadline for him is, I think, 60 days. He's trying to leave in 30. So he said, sure, that's fine. I've had a good rapport with him. I was initially trying to help him find a house. I didn't realize he wasn't making his rent payments. But he seems like a nice guy. So called the seller saying, hey, he's agreed to meet with me. He's agreed to sign a letter saying he's going to vacate the property. Text the other agent saying, hey, there's an eviction process, but I'm going to get him a letter saying that he's going to leave the property as is, the way he found it, so there'll be no issues. Buyer's agent sent me a thumbs up saying that's great. So I get to manage that. So 2 random headaches at the last minute, and hopefully 2 saves. It feels like I'm doing my best to solve these silly problems, but now I have like a bit more of a perspective of people that say, oh, I do, 50 deals a year, 45 deals a year, 100 deals a year. That means they're losing tons of deals. Like, I feel like agents that do so many transactions, I kind of understand now why, like, I notice so much of their braggadociousness, because I guess they have a sense of human behavior. I guess they have a sense of how things can go wrong and how they can predict those things and overcome them. But I also see how often, deals just fall apart because deals fall apart, why they're so detached. So it's yet another indication of like why I need to be a little bit more emotionally detached, because I'm working these listings, I'm working them hard, but I also need to just, if they fall apart, they fall apart. I'm glad I put myself in a position where, I don't need any one deal to close. I'm just happy that they can all close the same month. But it's annoying when like everything in nature is trying to stop these deals from taking place. It's crazy. But so far we live to fight another day. The deal that goes on another day for both of them. And I'm doing my best to get my next listing offer that my clients can accept. Otherwise I might fire them. So yeah, it is what it is. Christian Abush, licensed realtor with Real Broker. Random weekend, random way to wake up, but my deals are still on. Thank God. Talk to you later. Bye.